Drug abuse and trafficking. These aren't just illegal activities. They're a dangerous web that traps individuals, communities, and even entire nations. For those struggling with addiction, the consequences are severe. Drug use itself can lead to a devastating decline in health, causing organ damage, respiratory problems, and mental health issues like depression and anxiety. Addiction also strains relationships, leading to isolation and a breakdown of family and social support systems. Financial woes become a constant battle as users struggle to afford drugs while neglecting work or school. In a desperate attempt to fund their habits, some may even resort to crime. Assault. This isn't just a physical crime, it's a violation that leaves lasting scars. While the legal definition focuses on intentional or reckless bodily harm, the true impact ripples far beyond the initial injury. A key aspect of assault is the act of instilling fear. Even without physical injury, the threat of violence can be deeply traumatizing. Victims may experience anxiety, hypervigilance, and difficulty trusting others, leading to social isolation and a constant state of emotional distress. Theft. This isn't just a misplaced wallet or a borrowed car forgotten to be returned. It's a violation of trust and security that can have devastating consequences for individuals, communities, and society as a whole. For the victim, theft can be a deeply personal experience. The loss of a cherished possession, whether it holds sentimental value or financial worth, can be emotionally wrenching. Beyond the immediate loss, the sense of violation can be deeply unsettling. Robbery. The harsh reality of robbery extends far beyond the police report and the stolen goods. It's a brutal violation that shatters the fundamental human need. The feeling of safety, the psychological impact of robbery can be long-lasting. The memory of the threat can form into a constant companion. Anxiety that colors everyday interactions. The once secure world now feels laced with danger, leading to hypervigilance and a reluctance to trust others. Sleep may even become a battlefield for relieving the traumatic encounter. Fraud. Imagine this. You get a call, the voice on the other end sounds official, and they tell you you've won a free vacation. All you have to do is send a small processing fee. Except there was no contest and you never won anything. That's fraud. And it's a crime that can leave you feeling foolish and empty-pocketed. Fraudsters come in all shapes and sizes, and their tricks can be pretty clever. They might call you pretending to be from your bank, saying there's a problem with your account, or they might send you an email that looks like it's from a popular company, offering a discount that seems too good to be true. The worst part is that fraud can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how careful you think you are. These artists are good at what they do. Burglary. A crime as old as civilization itself entails the unlawful entry into a structure with the intent to commit theft, vandalism, or other felonious activities. It's a violation of not only inflicting financial loss, but also breaching the sanctity and security of one's home or business. The aftermath of a burglary can leave lasting psychological scars on victims, eroding their sense of safety and trust. Despite advancements in security technology, burglars often find innovative ways to circumvent defenses, posing a perpetual challenge for law enforcement agencies. The consequences of burglary extends beyond material loss, affecting communities through increased insurance premiums and decreased property values. Embezzlement. This is when someone steals money or property that they were trusted to manage. It's like if you gave your friend some money to hold on to for you, but instead of keeping it safe, they decided to use it for themselves. People who embezzle often have access to funds or assets because of their job or position of trust. It can happen in business, nonprofits, or even government organizations. When someone embezzles, it can cause financial problems and hurt the people or organizations they stole from. To prevent embezzlement, organizations need to have good systems for tracking money and assets, and for everyone to be honest and trustworthy. Vandalism. This is the act of damaging or destroying property that doesn't belong to you, like scribbling on walks or smashing things for no good reason. It's a problem that can happen anywhere, in parks, schools, or even on the streets. But it's not just about breaking stuff. It makes places look messy and unsafe, too. Sometimes people do it out of boredom or frustration, but that doesn't make it right. Fixing vandalized things costs a lot of money, and it makes neighborhoods feel less lively to live in. To stop vandalism, we all need to respect other people's things and find better ways to deal with our feelings. Sexual assault. This is a serious crime that involves any unwanted sexual activity forced upon someone without their consent. It can take many forms, including rape, groping, or unwanted touching. Sexual assault is a violation of a person's body and autonomy, leaving deep emotional scars that can last a lifetime. Perpetrators of sexual assault often use power, manipulation, or coercion to control their victims, exploiting vulnerabilities and disregarding boundaries. Victims of sexual assault may experience feelings of shame, guilt, and fear, often leading to long-term psychological and emotional trauma. Cybercrime. This refers to criminal activities carried out using computers or the internet. It encompasses a wide range of illicit actions, including hacking, phishing, identity theft, and online fraud. Perpetrators of cybercrimes exploit vulnerabilities in digital systems to steal sensitive information, disrupt services, or extort money from individuals and organizations. With the increasing reliance on technology in our daily lives, cybercrime has become a significant threat, affecting individuals, businesses, and governments worldwide. The anonymity and global reach of the internet make it challenging to track and prosecute cybercriminals, often requiring collaboration between law enforcement agencies across borders. Domestic violence. A devastating reality in many relationships involves a cycle of abusive behaviors, where one partner seeks to control and dominate the other. It's like a dark cloud hovering over the home, shattering the sense of safety and trust that should exist within intimate partnerships. From physical assaults to emotional manipulation, it affects ripple through every aspect of victims' lives, often leaving them feeling trapped and isolated. Breaking free from the cycle requires immense courage and support as victims navigate complex legal and emotional challenges. Stalking. This is a pattern of unwanted and obsessive behavior directed towards an individual, causing them fear, anxiety, and distress. It goes beyond mere curiosity or interest, manifesting as persistent surveillance, harassment, and intrusion into the victim's life. Stalkers may use various methods to track their targets, including physical surveillance, cyberstalking, and unwanted communication through calls, texts, or social media. Victims often feel powerless and vulnerable as their stalker disregards personal boundaries and violates their sense of safety. Stalking can have severe psychological and emotional effects on victims, leading to anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Kidnapping. A terrifying crime that involves unlawfully seizing and detaining someone against their will. The motives behind kidnapping can vary from ransom demands to personal vendettas or human trafficking. Victims are subjected to unimaginable trauma as they endure captivity, uncertainty, and often violence at the hands of their captors. Families are left devastated, struggling with fear and uncertainty about the fate of their loved ones. Despite its rarity compared to other crimes, kidnapping evokes widespread fear and captures public attention due to its heinous nature. Homicide. The unlawful killing of one person by another is a tragic and devastating crime that shatters lives and communities. It can occur in various forms, including murder, manslaughter, and justifiable homicide. Each case carries its unique circumstances and motivations, ranging from premeditated violence to crimes of passion or self-defense. Homicide leaves behind a trail of grief, trauma, and profound loss for the families and loved ones of both the victim and the perpetrator. Arson. Intentional fire setting is a destructive act that poses serious risks to property and lives. Perpetrators of arson often target buildings, vehicles, or open spaces for various reasons, including vandalism, insurance fraud, or personal vendettas. The aftermath of arson can be catastrophic, resulting in extensive property damage, financial loss, and endangerment to individuals nearby. Human trafficking. Exploiting vulnerable individuals for profit, human trafficking is a heinous crime that robs victims of their freedom and dignity. Perpetrators lure victims with false promises of employment, education, or a better life, then subject them to forced labor, sexual exploitation, or organ harvesting. Victims endure unimaginable suffering, trapped in cycles of abuse and coercion. Traffickers operate with impunity, exploiting legal loopholes and societal vulnerabilities. Combating human trafficking demands global cooperation, stringent laws, and robust victim support systems. Trespassing. This involves unlawfully entering or remaining on someone else's property without permission. It's like stepping onto someone's land without an invitation. Trespassers might do it out of curiosity, mischief, or with more sinister intentions. The consequences can range from a simple warning to legal action, depending on the severity of the intrusion and the property owner's response. Trespassing not only violates the rights of property owners, but also poses risks to trespassers themselves, as they may encounter hazards or face legal repercussions. Disorderly conduct. This refers to disruptive or offensive behavior that disturbs the peace and tranquility of a community. It encompasses a wide range of actions, from public intoxication and loud disturbances to fighting or creating public nuisances. Imagine rowdy behavior in public places that disrupt others' peace of mind. Disorderly conduct often occurs in crowded areas, such as streets, parks, or public events, and can escalate quickly, leading to conflicts or confrontations. Law enforcement agencies typically intervene to address disorderly conduct, aiming to restore order and ensure public safety. Consequences for engaging in disorderly conduct may include fines, arrest, or community service, depending on the severity of the offense and local regulations. White-collar crimes. Nonviolent offenses committed by individuals or organizations for financial gain or to deceive others. It typically involves deceit, manipulation, or abuse of trust in a professional or business setting. It involves fraudulent activities like embezzlement, insider trading, or money laundering. Perpetrators of white-collar crime often occupy positions of authority or trust, exploiting their access to resources or information for personal enrichment. Unlike street crimes, white-collar crimes may go unnoticed for extended periods, causing significant financial harm to victims and eroding public trust in institutions. DUI, DWI. Driving under influence, also called DUI or driving while intoxicated, called DWI, involves operating a vehicle while impaired by alcohol or drugs. Impaired drivers pose a significant risk to themselves and others on the road, increasing the likelihood of accidents, injuries, and fatalities. Despite awareness campaigns and strict laws against drunk driving, DUI or DWI remains a prevalent and dangerous problem. Law enforcement agencies use various methods, such as sobriety checkpoints and breathalyzer tests, to identify and apprehend impaired drivers. The consequences for DUI or DWI can range from fines and license suspension to imprisonment, depending on the severity of the offense and prior convictions.